Anybody here made a guy wait a month to have sex with him? Anybody?
Absolutely, two.
Every man.
Made a guy wait a month to have. Okay, beautiful. Go ready. Okay. Okay, ready. Ladies. The same ladies. Any guy that you met immediately and had sex with him. Oh, interesting. Okay, but this other guy you made wait a month. Got it.
I got a really good question for you, Mike. Here we go. Okay. Sartain, do you think that American women are not used to chivalry because the men gave up on it or that women stopped respecting it?
I'm curious, what do you guys think before I say anything? I want to hear from Stefan and Nisa.
Men stopped doing it.
I never saw chivalry ever in my life.
What is it? What does that mean?
Chivalry, like opening doors for you. I'm the one who pays for everything.
Gentlemen,
there you go. Gentlemen,
picking out all the good fries from the fry basket.
I do think some women do like men that treat them like shit, for sure.
Why do we even have a show anymore? This is crazy.
Yeah.
You're not saying that women want to be treated like crap, but they tend to. You can't control what you're attracted to sometimes. Or you think they actually want to be treated like crap?
I think sometimes women don't like men that are too nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I think some women do kind of like being treated like shit. I don't know.
Christian Q. Perry has left the chat.
Being treated like shit more often than not. Yeah.
So this is my take on it, right? So I feel like there are girls out there that have grown up, right? You call it daddy issues or whatever the case may be. Like say you grow up in a kind of chaotic household where you never really got taken care of or like nice things done for you by like men in your home life, right? So you don't go out expecting men to do that when you're out on dates, you know what I mean? You expect it to be like what you've always known, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a shock, like, oh, that doesn't feel like home. Yeah. Not necessarily that they want to be treated like or anything, but it just doesn't feel like home. You know what I mean? It more feels like home when they're like, f off. You know what I mean? Like maybe, I don't know.
Women, right?
American, yeah, that's what it said.
So like 60 days ago, maybe not that long ago, I was like, I'm never dating an American guy ever again. Like having dated multiple other cultures, I really do think it's a cultural thing. And I have a lot of different cultures within my family. And I see that a lot. Like with American guys, they're just like, you pay. Why would I do that? What are you doing? Just like, never mind, dude.
I mean, quit dating liberals. I'll be honest with you. Like that'll probably be your first.
You know. Yeah. So I do. I think it's both. We had the feminist movement, and we're all about equality, and women are strong and independent, and all of these things. And I think that's shifted to where men expect that of you. They want to see how ambitious are you. What's your career doing? How much do you make? How are you just like,
Got it.
I'm in this situation because I have to be. Okay.
I'm gonna propose a different idea. Men have not been taught actual like masculine traits, so they use chivalry in order to cope. So they're overly nice. Women can detect because women are way more attuned to cues than men are, especially at a younger age, because women get approached way more than men do, especially in adolescence. What's happening is women are recognizing guys who don't have boundaries, and what they're saying instead of is I don't like nice guys or nice guys fail. I have no trouble with women, and I'm very nice, but I have boundaries. What happens is the guys who don't have boundaries see another guy who has boundaries, and the woman says, he's an ass. He didn't listen to me. He didn't do this. No, he was just the first man to ever tell you no.
But I think that goes the other way, too.
Sure, of course. I totally agree, yeah.
Us women have boundaries. Like, I'm not going to reach for my wallet on that date.
Yeah, listen.
Not.
This audience here, you're not going to reach your wallet. Nobody here is going to ask you to.
I would never do that. And for me, like on a date, I will let you know this is where you
if I was on a date with a girl, if I was on a date with a girl and she asked me to split the check, I know she's not interested in me. She can in a humorous way reach for her purse, but I'm not going on a date with a girl and not paying for dinner. That's absurd. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I would be disowned by my own state if I did something like that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I was going to say that's another.
I could literally
difference.
talk about this for like 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
Same.
But I have a lot of hypotheses. I think what happened in America mainly is we stopped, like it just became a blob and a blur, everything. I think the economy played a huge factor in why like men and women are so confused.
Oh, this is another thing. Yeah, if 60% of college enrollees are female, and women, by the way, I believe under the age of 30 or 35, women are making more money than men, somewhere in that area. If that's happening, then what happens is now the paying for dinner becomes more and more difficult, and now you as a woman are dating someone who is less educated and makes less money than you, and this becomes very problematic when you're looking for certain chivalrous acts.
Even women being forced into a masculine role, like when they come home from like working a shift, they don't have the energy to raise the kids, to cook, to clean, to do everything. It blends. Like it messes up all the boundaries. I think a lot of people like now are very miserable with our like quality of life in America, and I think that's why all these pandering accounts that upset everyone, they're realizing like what's missing, and everybody wants those gender roles back. They want that feeling, but instead of like realizing, they're angry. So that's why there's all these angry men like, oh my god, all women are evil, and there's all these angry women who are like, every man is a cheater, because like we're lacking that and we're realizing it, but in the wrong way. And we're
But also dangerous. They're like, you're a gold digger. It's like,
I'm like, yes.
what do you mean you don't want to
The way to solve that is to ask a man, if you had a daughter, would you want your daughter dating someone broke? And most men will be like, no, I would want my daughter to date someone who could take care of her financially. And then you're like, oh, she's not a gold digger. That makes sense. There's a limit. Gold digger is just like all they care about is money. There's nothing else.
We really need to cut the with the chivalry stuff, because I'll tell you right now, we keep calling it chivalry. It's not chivalry. We don't live in the 14th century anymore. Stop saying, oh, I'm going to court her. No, what you want is you want old order gender roles is what you're looking for. And we live in the 21st century, and everyone in this century right now is a product of militant feminism, I should say post-sexual revolution feminism. And so what we're looking at is we're looking at this want by women who are strong, independent women who don't need no man, but they want a man. And the man that they want is the guy who opens the doors, the guy who picks out the French fries for you, the guy who comes up to your door and rings the doorbell and says, is Sophie here? They want happy days. They want the 1950s. They want the sock hop. They want the dance at high school, right? And at the same time, I mean, wouldn't that be nice? But at the same time, women still know what they want. Remember, we were just talking about what is rational and what's emotional. A rational side is I need a guy who is 6'5", blue eyes, finance, and loves his mom and wants to have kids sometime in the future, right? But the emotional side of that is I want him to come to the door and press the doorbell, and I want him to open the door too, and I want him to be a gentleman, and I still want him to pay for a date, whether or not I make more money than he does or he doesn't. So cut the bullshit with the chivalry stuff, because it's not chivalry is not what you think it is. Okay, it's not walking on the inside of the road and so she doesn't get mud on her when she's right. It's not the 14th century anymore. Can we stop that? Can we cut the with courting and all this other stuff? Nobody courts anymore. People date, or they hook up, and then they take it on and move on from there. So if it develops into something else, then it develops into something.
I got a way we can express this. Anybody here made a guy wait a month to have sex with him? Anybody?
Absolutely, too.
Every man.
Raise it. Made a guy wait a month. Okay, beautiful. Go, ready? Okay.
Wow.
Okay, ready? Ladies. The same ladies. Any guy that you met immediately and had sex with him. Oh, interesting. Okay, but this other guy you made wait a month. Got it.
I'm not interested in something long term.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm not sure what
All right, let's listen to Rose. Go ahead, introduce
For me,
yourself.
though, if a guy doesn't have sex with me, I don't think he likes me, because back in my past, when guys didn't want to have sex with me, and obviously I don't want to project or anything, but back in the day when they didn't want to have sex with me, I'm like, this guy doesn't like me. I better get away from him because I'm not a creep. And that's what I think. I'm like, I better back up.
This is the answer I hear all the time. It's like, I want to know what I'm dealing with. Yeah. So this is the thing. We can look at women and we see a shape and we're like, that'll probably work. Just make sure she has 2 X chromosomes and we're good. For you guys, you see us and you don't know if we're going to be creepy, stalker, micro penis, terrible in bed. You have all these imperfect pieces of information, which is why I recommend to men have a bunch of female friends or let them see your ex-girlfriends. And if you do that, then generally women are like, okay, that something works there. And that's also the reason why men who are single fathers, women find that attractive more so than the other way around, because it's proof of concept. 6 inches to your right, because I was wrong. The screen was actually done incorrectly.